Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to the BNS channel. My name's Edie, and I was reminded today of something pretty awesome. Thanks to Facebook and that happened on this day thing that it does to you every day. Christina Stainbrook had done a live stream one day last year sometime. Well, actually, a year ago today. Now that I think about it, it was on this day. About positivity and negativity. And she gave me credit, which I absolutely adored. That made my heart smile a lot. Because I had introduced her to Train Your Brain. I haven't talked about that a lot lately, and I think it's worth reiterating today, because even I forget. Even I have the ability of getting in my little negative Nelly state, or what I call my Eeyore syndrome, where I just kind of get stuck in a feeling of doubt, a feeling of, really? This? Me? Again? I don't want to deal with this. Why does this always happen to me? That's like the first thing that comes to my head sometimes. And I get stuck there. And you guys have been following me on this health journey, and I think that something clicked for me today. Isn't that awesome? For you? No, not so much. For me, yes. But it does. It takes a moment to just allow it to sink in and to really understand what the meaning behind what you just heard is, so that it can resonate to the point where your unconscious mind is like, whoo, okay, yeah, that's it. And so I felt that it was necessary for me to come and share that thought process with you, because I think that there are so many people out there that go through these stages, and sometimes we get stuck. Sometimes we get stuck in a stage that is uncomfortable, unhappy, a lot of times unrealistic, because of fear. And I want to address that real quick. I made a post the other day about fear, and the fact that there's really, I mean, if you're in danger, if you are going to be hurt, that kind of fear is totally different. But fear of the unknown, fear of what somebody else might have done that you don't want to do, that is purely doubt. Doubt is where the fear lies, and the doubt comes from you, and the doubt you have control over, and the doubt you have the ability to change that thought process and eventually get you to hope, right? So when we're doubting something and we're not sure if we can do it, we don't know if we can handle it, we don't know anything about how, as an individual, we are going to deal with the situation that is potentially going to arise, right? We don't know. We don't know that the same thing is going to happen to you that happened to somebody else, right? So we're fearing the unknown. And ultimately, we're doubting our own selves through that fear. So if we have control over that, and we can change it to hope rather than doubt. So listen to these statements. I am so doubtful that I'm going to be able to lose weight. I am hopeful that I'm going to be able to lose weight. They mean the exact same thing. Technically, they mean the exact same thing. But one certainly feels better than the other, don't you think? So if you change your language, which is what Train Your Brain is really about, if you train your brain to invest its time in the things that it wants rather than investing its time in the things that you don't want, your outcome is going to be totally different. Because that is how your brain works. It's how the universe works. It's how energy works. It's how whatever you give energy to manifests itself. And I mean that in a very scientific manner. Whatever you give energy to will come to life. it will begin to work, right? You give energy to a battery will give energy to something else, or maybe let's say the battery is energy. You put a battery in something, it allows it to work. You give it energy. If you give energy to things that you don't want, if I put a battery in, I don't know, I can't even think of anything. If you put a battery in something you don't want working, okay, you give energy, you put a battery in one of those toys that are extremely annoying because your child makes a lot of noise with it, maybe they like it a lot, but you don't want it to work. If you give energy to it and you put a battery in it, it's gonna work, whether you want it to or not. Right? So that's why it's so important for us as individuals. Our energy is the same. Sorry for all the bumps, guys. It's just how it is out here. If you give energy in our bodies, energy is energy. I don't care where it's coming from. Energy is energy. It's a scientific fact, right? There's different levels of energy. But if you give yourself energy to a thought that you don't want to have happen, what are you doing? Whether you want it or not to happen, if you're giving energy to it, guess what it's going to do? It's going to happen. It's going to work. So I want you guys to be so conscious of that. I want you to be so able to control how you think and what you're thinking about. Now, keep in mind, thought plus emotion. Emotion is the energy. Okay? Emotion is your energy. What you give emotion to is energy. Okay? So, thought plus emotion equals action. Okay? Give energy to something, it works. Thought plus emotion equals action. When you expand the equation and you say thought plus emotion equals, thought plus emotion plus action equal results. This should click. This should make sense for you guys. And again, I forget about it sometimes too. And I need to be reminded. So that's why I do these videos. They're not for you. These videos are not for you. They're for me. I'm just kidding. So do you understand how that works? Thought plus emotion plus action equals results. If emotion is energy, and we give energy to a thought, and it creates an action that eventually will create a result, we better be careful what emotion we're providing, or how much emotion we're providing to specific things. Do you ever have the experience where you're borderline tears and somebody comes over and hugs you? Boy, do those tears flow, because they just gave you energy to the emotion. They gave their energy of love to your emotion of sadness, and lo and behold, the energy produces an action, which is crying. This is factual stuff, guys. This isn't something that somebody made up someday and was like, oh, let's just say that, if you give energy to your thoughts, it's gonna work. It's a fact. It's a fact. It's a scientific fact. You give energy to something, it's gonna do something. Right? So, think about your thoughts. Think about the energy that you're gonna give it. And see how your life changes. Dare you. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing day. If you found something useful in this, please share it below, because I really need to know that what I'm talking about is just not... I want to know. I need to know. Okay? Don't forget to like the video, too. I forget to ask this all the time. Like the video. Don't forget to subscribe my channel so you get all the updates of the new videos. I'm having a good day. I hope you have a good day, too. Bye.